So inflation came in yesterday, about what, 4 or 5%. The White House out here dancing the last 24 hours saying, wow, isn't this so amazing? Isn't this incredible? We mentioned in one of the pieces of content we made yesterday that 4%, 4 or 5%, remember, is literally up 4 or 5% from what it was last year, which was 7, 8% last year. So it's up 4 or 5% from that time last year, right? So it's it's just a slower increase. It's still increasing. So in inflation, even though it has come down a little bit because they're destroying the economy and have destroyed tens of thousands, 100,000 plus jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs over the last year and a half, they're dancing. It's so amazing. This is so great, guys. So Biden's out here dancing. They're out dancing. And then today, Jerome Powell coming out and saying what we expected, I guess what the market expected, that they're pausing. Like, hey, we're not going to really do much, but we might raise in the future. We might do some raises in the future. So the Fed is always behind the curve. This is why it's paramount to take your life into your own hands. Stop waiting around for other people to dictate your life and to take charge of your life. You can have 1,000 times, a million times more in your life if you just take charge. If you use your higher faculties, like we've been talking about, use the things God has given you, the tools. And if you are becoming independent and becoming resilient, getting outside the system, outside of central control, outside of central money, outside of central communications, get on Nostr, get on Zion, get on Ghost, Bitcoin platforms that are literally outside of the capture and control of states. Get in Bitcoin, outside money for the people, outside the capture and control of states. Get outside of the food system, the fiat food system. Meet your local rancher, meet your local sheriff, buy local. Get some seeds, get some gardening tools, get some skills, buy some land, lead, ammo, firearms, build your community, get you some water, some energy. These things have to be done in order to be prosperous going forward in the future. We're going into a world where Maslow's hierarchy of needs is coming back in. We've talked about cyber pandemics, Event 201. They've telegraphed these things, guys. This is not like some drill. It's not some like practice. You're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool someday? These people, it's not like I'm the one that made it up and said, hey, what if? What if, or what aboutism, or what if, which is the devil himself. What if? This is stuff they've written about and done videos about and telegraphed and then war gamed on. So get ready for it. Get ready, because it's going to happen. These things will happen. We need to be prepared for it. The good people need to be prepared for it. The people that are ready to shine light on situations need to be prepared for it. So all this theater, and that's why I try not to, give too much credence to the Fed and the Federal Open Market Committee and them changing rates and doing rates and all this stuff, because I don't want to give credence to the system itself. And we'll talk about like what things look like, what metrics look like, so that way we can navigate waters. But this is why we talk so much about getting ready ourselves and becoming independent and becoming resilient ourselves, because we don't want to give any time and energy to the existing system. We have to be involved in politics locally, because politics is local, and it's knowing your PTA, knowing the people around you, the people who are raising your kids, the people who are serving you in your community. But really, the general overarching politics at the top levels don't matter. They're run by puppets. They're run by the CIA, FBI, the Bilderberg Group, and the Rothschilds. All these entities are the ones that run these organizations, or they run the president, and run. This is why we need to be focused in on what we can do at the end of the day. So go through what we talked about, make your checklist, see what the things you need to be doing, see where you need to be prepared, because the Fed and what they're doing is just theater. They're going to crush things. They're always behind the curve. The Fed is going to continue destroying things. Their two mandates of level prices and employment and inflation. They're a disaster. They're an absolute disaster. These guys are always behind the curve, and they're there to enrich themselves. Period. So if you understand it from that lens, if you understand it from the socialist communist lens that these one world government people operate from, which is go read the Naked Communist, go read the Communist Manifesto, go read Brave New World, go read the books, the literature they put out over the years, go read Tragedy and Hope. They're telling you what they're going to do. It's literally outlined in a treasure map. Hey, this is what we're doing to you. This is how we're going to destroy you from the inside out. Most people, I get so many people that argue with me on TikTok and YouTube and all these things, And they've never read in any of these things. They've never read any of this stuff. So the average person, 99% of people have never read any of this stuff, and yet they're going to sit here and tell me and lecture to me like, oh, well, that's crazy. Well, Brandon, what if they, what if this happens? And I had something the other day, like, what if they shut off, the cyber pandemic's not going to like shut off the internet of the world unless there's like a meteor that hits the earth and destroys all of us. That's the only way. Bitcoin doesn't work. They're not going to shut off the internet, because if they shut off the internet, which is going to be, that's very hard to do, very, very hard to, like, you can't shut off the internet for the entire world. And if you did, you'd be shutting it off for the militaries, for the banking system. Like, what are you going to do here, guys? So you can't have it. And these are these tail risks that people want to like get into this, like, head spin, tail spin about. You have to prepare for the likely outcomes. They're going to create some events like lockdown type stuff, some cyber pandemic type of stuff, some climate lockdown type of stuff. They're going to try to get people really scared, and then they're going to keep doing things like this to try to get people forced into CBDCs and central bank digital currencies, and forced into hating Donald Trump, and forced into hating MAGA. And they're scapegoats. As BJ Dichter always called himself, the handy scapegoat. There's always scapegoats and psychological operations that are going on. So you have to be smart in that. You have to rise above the fold, realize there's a uniparty, both sides are in on it, and you ain't in it. There's a club and you ain't in it. You and I ain't in it, as George Carlin said. So prepare like your life depends on it, because it does. And it's okay, because that's what life's all about. This is what life's about. Don't be scared from it. Don't walk away from it. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and your energy, your passion. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, but I appreciate that in watching my TED Talks, because this is, to me, the most important stuff of our time. I have 4 little kids. The reason I do so much content every single day, writing blogs, going on Twitter Spaces all day long, hosting our Wednesday political spaces, Bitcoin spaces, and then in doing more content and doing Bitcoin trading cards, doing our YouTube, putting things on Rumble, doing the interviews we're doing now. The reason I do that is because I can see the world that's coming. It's hard for me to quantify the gifts I've been given, but a lot of it is seeing 10 years, 20 years down the road, and I've been seeing this for 20 years. That means we're getting close to those end times, and I'm seeing what's happening. I'm seeing what's going on, and I know where this is going to end up. So that's why we have to get prepared now. This is the time to get prepared, to thrive on the backside of this. So please share this out, because the algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. It's not financial advice, it's freedom advice. Trust but verify. We'll see you on the next one.